Now, Terence Keenan's review, a supplement of his initial review, which was published initially on the 4th of the 602, the supplements from the 17th of the 1st 04. Well, I first have to say that Rob Matthews inspired this return look at Snakedance. He and I went back and forth on this and Kinder, on which was better. After the discourse, I watched it a couple of times, and it all came together. The first thing I had to do was divorce it from Kinder. Snakedance always followed Kinder on the viewing rotation, and so in retrospect, Snakedance suffered. So I made a conscious decision to watch it all alone, without my fave Peter Davison story. Technically, Snakedance is a bit more conventional in terms of Who. I say technically because it delves into concise Holmesian world building and features an old school Who double act in Lon and his mum, Tanha. However, it subverts two other Who conventions, favouring the mystical and legendary over the academic and sceptical, and, my favourite, by not having the Doctor's claims of wild catastrophe accepted by those in authority, except Chayla, and he only gets it after Lon decides to use the Great Crystal in the ceremony. Chayla seems more upset of the breaking of tradition than what the consequences may be, even though he does think that Dodgen might have been on the right track. So the Doctor bursts into rooms and like a last angry prophet, yells that the sky is falling, and those in charge, Lon, Tanner, Ambril, either seem amused or annoyed. They indulge the Doctor a bit, get bored, and either put him out of the way or let him run off. The effort to catch him doesn't seem worth it. If you were to think about it, if some nice young bloke in a cream coat showed up at your apartment and claimed the end was nigh, you'd be on the phone to have the Butterfly Squad take the poor deluded loon away. On top of all this subversion of Who conventions, there's a lot of meat on the bones of Snakedance. The carnival atmosphere on Manusa, the Punch and Judy show that slyly forecasts the finale, Ambril's greed for more discoveries that he can botch the history/meaning of, the Six Faces of Delusion scene, the Hall of Mirrors guy and Crystal Ball reader who come out and admit their frauds to Tegan without any hesitation. There's a nod to Forbidden Planet in the story of the birth of the Mara, monsters of the id, and more subtle references to Christian and Buddhist mythology. On the performance side of things, my big hang-up was with Martin Clune's Lon. Found myself more forgiving of his slightly uneven performance. His calmer moments, especially in the last two episodes, are really creepy instead of falsely charming, a very good thing. Colette O'Neill gives a strong turn as Tanha. The rest of the guest cast all hold their own. On the regular side of things, Peter Davison is his usual excellent self, Sarah Sutton shows a little range, and Janet Fielding had a field day as the possessed Tegan. It's really obvious dear little Janet is having an illegal amount of fun as evil Tegan, and the final scene is quite touching. I'm very happy to have rediscovered Snakedance. It's the strongest sequel story in Who, because it retains what made the original so special, but stands up on its own terms, just brilliant.